Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adobinoli. How you doing? Hope you're doing great and hope you're staying safe. Please kindly subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed, and like, comment, do all that good stuff, and click that bell button so you get notified whenever I make a post. And if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, please subscribe. On Mondays we talk about personal development. In every area of our life, every aspect of our life, we talk about personal development. Then on Wednesdays we talk finance, business. Money is important, so I talk about that as well. Then Friday we chill and talk about, we do games, we do chit chat on Fridays. But in between, sometimes I put out 2 videos in a day based on the occurrences that happen around the world, so I talk about it. So sometimes I give out 2 videos. So if you don't want to miss any of this good stuff, please kindly hit that bell button so you get notified whenever I publish a video. So without wasting much of the time, I have some questions, primary questions towards self-actualization, towards personal development. So if you don't want to miss any of those questions, then you have to watch to the end. Sometimes life happens. Yes, life happens, and we are in that space where we're like, okay, well, what next? What's the next step you should take in life? What should I be doing next? And all. So that was what made me, or that's the reason why I had to put out this video, because early this year I was in that space where I was like, okay, what's the next step? What next should I do? Because I think I wasn't comfortable again at the position, or in the position I was at that point. So I needed to ask myself, okay, who am I? I needed to really identify myself, and okay, how now do I develop my personality? And that was what led to this. I did some certain things and I said, okay, let me come and share with you. Personal development and self-actualization is meant for everybody. I think everybody should do it once in a while. It helps you evolve with time. It helps you realize, okay, this is who I am and this is what next I should do in my life. So personal development, answering these questions might seem very easy, because when someone tells you, okay, what makes you happy, you're like, okay, what makes me happy is maybe playing game and all of that. But I would advise that you don't rush these questions. Even if it's going to take you 1 week towards answering all of them, then let it do that. Don't be in a hurry to answer some of these questions. They might seem easy, but it's not easy. Something that requires you to sit down, think, and then give an answer to some of these things, because when you answer it, it's going to direct you on what next you should do. It sometimes even opens your eyes, and like you now realize that, okay, where I am so shouldn't be why it shouldn't be where I should be. So it pushes you, it encourages you to do more. So let's go down to the question for your self-actualization and personal development. If this is helpful, leave it in the comment section as well. And if there are other questions, if you've actually been in that space where you were like, okay, what next should I do, who am I, and all of that, or people are saying things about you, like people are saying, okay, you're a very quiet person, but in your mind you're like, I'm not a quiet person. So by the time you answer these questions, you really understand who you are, and that will help you. So the first question is, what makes you happy or what makes you sad? Write down everything. Normally I will say just list like 3 or 5 things that makes you happy, because if you start mentioning plenty, you might get distracted. So list out the 3 or 5 things that makes you happy. It's going to direct you, that makes you happy or sad. You can write the ones that make you happy by your right hand side, and the ones that make you sad at your left, by your left hand side. It's going to help you, like for the things that makes you happy, that might actually help you determine, okay, maybe these things that make me happy can actually be a source of income to me, or can actually be something I should look into. It might give me more income, or all of that. Sometimes there are some days where you are really, really tired, or maybe you've gone through a very stressful day, and you look up all these things that makes you happy, and you try and do 1 or 2 things. It brings back the energy you have. Then the things that makes you sad, you should also write it down as well, because it's very important to know what makes you sad, and you try and avoid them as well. It's very important. Then the second point is identify your good and bad habits. Your good habits is a plus, so it's either you improve on it, it's going to tell who your personality is as well. Then the bad habits, it's very important you identify these bad habits, no matter how bad it is. This thing should be like in your diary, where it's between you're talking to yourself. It's a one-on-one conversation with yourself. Okay, I think maybe not brushing in the morning might be a bad habit to you. I know some people do not brush anymore. Personally, I can't even just, once I stand off my bed, I go straight to brushing my teeth, even before I even tell anybody good morning. Unless maybe you come across me on my way to brushing my teeth, then I'll not tell you good morning. Apart from that, you would never catch me like going outside without brushing. I see it as a bad habit, but some people, they will even eat before they even brush. So anything, just know what you think are your bad habits and what people have complained to you about, and say, okay, this is your bad habits. Write it down as well. It's very important. Then the third point is, what maybe 5 words can you use in describing yourself? Are you humble? Write it down. Are you respectful? Write it down. Are you diligent? Write it down. Are you a good communicator? Write it down. Anything at all that you say, okay, this 5 thing describes my personality, write it down. The essence of this is that it's going to direct you. Like, okay, let's say for example, you are looking for a job, and maybe they say, okay, you meet someone who is a good communicator, who can listen. Because when you say communication is a two-way thing. You can listen, and then you can actually speak. So it's a two-way thing. So when you know you're a good communicator and that job availability is there, you can now send in your CV and like, okay, yes, this is my skill, this is who I am. So it actually helps you. But when you don't write things like that, you'll be like, okay, am I really a good communicator? I'm not so sure if I'm a good communicator. It leaves you blank as to, okay, this is it. Then the next thing is what can you do in this world at all, and when you do it, it gives you joy, even if money is not involved. What is that one thing that you would do it happily, like nobody is disturbing you? So like me, what I know that I can do happily is cooking, like cooking in a very good space where I don't have to go and start looking for where to fetch water. Like everything should just be around. That's one thing I know that gives me so much joy. Okay, if you know this thing gives me so much joy, then maybe you can take it up, you can commercialize it and say, okay, let me just go into cooking business. Although I don't want to, my love for cooking, I feel, is maybe cooking for family, not necessarily to send it out. So there's so many ways you can make money from cooking. Maybe you can, because you know how to cook, you can be taking pictures and be putting it on your Instagram page or your social media pages. Someone might see you, all these restaurants might see you, and then the next thing is that you become a food taster for some of these restaurants. So it's not necessarily you saying, okay, you want to cook, and because you're a good cook, because you're happy about cooking, then you now say, okay, there's so many ways you can send out, or you can send out the things you love doing, and in return it makes you happier. That's what I mean by things that makes you happy, even if money is not involved. Then write it down as well. It helps in the long run. It helps you identify yourself as well. The sixth point is sorry, I'm looking here because I had to write some of them down. Yeah. So the sixth point is what are your 5 major achievements in life? See, no matter how small it is, write it down. You see, even if, okay, when you're in school, there's this lecturer that was giving you a whole lot of headache, and you're like, okay, you know what, if this guy can just give me an E, then I'm good. I'm just good to go. Yes, it's an achievement too. It's an achievement. I know there was a time I was arguing with somebody when he was like, okay, that entering a new year is not an achievement. No, I know it was not. It was not New Year. I think it was his birthday. He was like, he doesn't celebrate birthday because it's just there. And I'm like, but that's an achievement. It's an achievement for you to celebrate another year, because so many of your colleagues have actually passed. I know the argument, so many people see it as it's not an achievement, but I see it as an achievement, really. Even if you've not gotten what you wanted, I see it as an achievement. So write down those 5 things, or write down 5 things, even if they are more than 5, your major achievements. Write it down. It's going to help. Then I don't know what number I'm in right now, although I said I was not going to number it. Then the next point is write down the list of them things, your disappointments, what you are so disappointed at. Write it down, even if it is I don't know what I would say is really petty now. Even if it's, okay, maybe you cook food and each time you cook food it burns, or you don't know how to, or each time you tell it to. So I didn't know that it stopped recording. Like, that's one of the problems with being a YouTuber. Sometimes you're just shooting and you don't realize that it has stopped recording. So I think why I stopped is what you're most disappointed about. And I was talking about, no matter whatever you think is petty, even if it means you burning clothes and all of that, you feel it's so petty, write it down. Write everything you know you're disappointed at or with yourself. Write it down. So the next point is, who do you look up to? Mentor. Who are your mentors, or who do you want to be your mentor? More like, who do you look at and say, oh, I want to be like this person? It could be in any way. Maybe in family, you love the way that the family is, like you love the way that the husband, wife, and the way he relates or they relate with their children. It could be that, oh, you like that this person is a very good professional. It could be that this person is very dedicated in what he or she does. Whatever, whoever your mentor is or whoever you look up to, write it down and write what inspires you about that person. So write it down. The next point, what scares you the most. It's very important to write what scares you the most. So the essence of writing down what scares you the most is, it's either you work on it or you avoid it. I'm into construction, and I know heights was something that I was very scared of. And I don't know where you're watching this video from, but I know somewhere in Nigeria, or because I'm based in Nigeria, safety precaution is usually taken very lightly. You'll see like a construction site that has 4 or 5 story buildings, and they're not providing adequate safety for you to get to the 4th floor, the 5th floor. You have to climb woods and all of that, and just to get there. So safety is something that is not so, we don't take it seriously here in Nigeria. And you can imagine, it's not like you're going on a step or you're going on lifts or you're going on an escalator. You have to be climbing scaffolds from one scaffold to the other just to get to the 5th floor, and then you now look down and you're seeing the heights. Then nothing is protecting you. So I knew that if I'm scared of heights, then I will not be in the construction field. And I've done 5 years already. I cannot start saying, okay, what next do I do since I'm scared of heights? I had to work on that. I had to talk to myself about it. I shouldn't be scared of heights, and I overcame it. So that's the essence of writing some of these things down. Your weak point, you work on it or you avoid it. If you know you can't avoid it, if you know you can't work on it, then you completely avoid. The next point is, then what do you think is limiting you right now? Write it down. If it is where you are, your space that is limiting you, you write it down. If it is finances that is limiting you, you write it down. If it is who you're with at that point in time, write it down. If it is the state, anything at all that you feel is limiting you, write it down. As I said before, the essence of writing all these things down, so that later on you can sit down. These questions, you shouldn't rush the answers at all. The essence is that later on you sit down, analyze it, and know, okay, what's the way forward? How can I solve some of these things? Speak to somebody about it. More like when you know the problem, they say a problem shared is a problem half solved. But now it's not like when you've shared the problem with yourself, it's a problem half solved, basically. So know what they are. The next point is, who are you closest to? Say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. If your friends are achieving mightily and you're not achieving, then there's a problem. It now means that you are the problem, because friendship should be in such a way that you both motivate yourself, advise yourself, and all of that. You cannot be someone like how would I put it? Okay, you can't be having a friend like Okonjo Iweala as your friend, as your bestie. When I talk about friend, I mean friend, not friend from a distance, like your friend who you sit down, talk about, and all of that. You can't be having Okonjo Iweala as your friend, and then meanwhile you are just there. You can't even say, okay, this is one achievement I've done for myself. This is not competition. It's not competition. They're healthy competitions as well. But you just sitting down there, okay, because Okonjo Iweala is my friend, so whenever she likes or whenever you feel you like, you just call her and please send me some money. It'll get to a time where she would even be avoiding because you're dragging her down. Friends should be lifting. People should be lifting each other up. So who are your friends? That will tell you who you are as well. The next point is what's your greatest dream? What do you dream of? Like, if you sit down today, think about it family wise, what do you think, or what's that dream, your dream of how your family should be? What's that your dream of how your profession should be? What's that dream of how your career should be? What's that dream about how your health should be as well? Because health is wealth as well. You cannot ignore health. You can actually say, okay, my dream is that maybe by the time I'm in my 60s, I'm still looking very smashy, like I'm still looking very okay, not I don't want to say certain things now before they say I'm shaming some people. But personally, you know what you want to be at the age of 60. You know how you want to look like at the age of 60. You have to start now to start looking like that. You cannot be saying, okay, at the age of 60 you want to look slim, and now at the age of, let's say, 20 something, you are looking, because you eat at night, 9 o'clock you're in the kitchen looking for what to eat. 2 a.m. your village people have woken you up because they are telling you you're hungry. You go to the kitchen again and find something to eat. You're not helping yourself now. So you need to start working on yourself. Then the last thing is, what are your beliefs and disbeliefs? This is very important as well, because what you believe in would work for you, and what you don't and what you disbelieve will actually work for you. With this, the thing with this is that it will direct you on what you should take from people and what you should not take from, more like what you should tolerate from people and what you shouldn't tolerate from people. Because if your belief is, okay, I'm not going to, for me, one of my belief is, or one of my disbelief is, let me use disbelief. One of my disbelief, which one do I use really? Okay, any one. Let me just give you an example, Sha. Disbelief is that I'm not going to eat snake meat. Like, why should I be eating snake meat? So that's my disbelief. So whenever you see that, you're like, no, I can't eat this. Maybe because of where you're coming from, because of what you believe in. Maybe you might be saying, okay, and let me use one common example. Although me, I don't believe it too. I don't believe it. I do it very well. Is they said when you sweep at night, you're sweeping away your riches. That is a belief for certain people, but I don't believe it. So it works. If you believe in it, it works for you. So sometimes you have to know what your belief is, and then you don't allow people enforce their own beliefs on you. It helps you stand firm on what you believe in and what you don't, and what you disbelieve in rather. So hope this video, I know there are so many other things, but maybe gradually we're taking them gradually. So if there are other things, questions you think you might ask yourself, and in order to realize, more like self-actualize yourself or personally develop yourself, then write it down in the comment section as well. It's very helpful you answer some of these questions, or all of the questions. Don't be in a hurry to answer them. So take your time. It's going to help you every area of your life. These questions: what makes you happy? Think about it. What makes you happy in your profession? What makes you happy in your family? What makes you happy about your health? So relate it to every aspect of your life. So these questions, relate it to every aspect of your life, and that would give you a guide on what to do next with your life and all of that, to help you, in short, help you basically in every aspect of your life. So hope you did enjoy this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much, and have yourself a lovely day. Bye.